brave hearts in the double R. Don't make me let the machine off. This is methadone music that you can lean off. Made you look. The remix with me up on it. I cop your shit. Now I break weed up on it. And everything is real I see. Like my niggas that been home, but they only got a jail ID. I held the game, can't help me. I'm top 5 dead or alive, and that's just off one LP. And I still buzz. They feel good, cause they know the flow's ill, just like Will was. I'm just trying to make sure that my son's well. Out of shape, but I make sure that my gun's healthy. I'm like, hey, you can't stand kids coming through the hood in the ass that vanquish the color of dancer. Instead we jumped them, I just let the gun snuff them. I'll be the turbo as soon as they uncuff them. This goes out to all your block.
Hey, 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 oh, hey, oh, hey. Happy Wednesday evening.
Yes, another beautiful Wednesday ahead of us for this very interesting week. Lord Jesus. Yeah, just a bit interesting. Little interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot going on this week. Actually, I think there's too much. It's a busy news cycle, but we're going to try to get you away from the sadness of the news cycle and tell you about the foolishness we found on the internet. But before we do that, as usual, we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves in alphabetical order.
Yes. Welcome to Not Your Typical Girl Talk, where we try to make sense of the foolishness on these deep, dark internets. My name is Carcia. Welcome to our hilarious show. We replay our show every Saturday at 7 p.m. on Radio Regent. That's right, internet radio, syndicated through iHeartRadio. So be sure to check us out there on the weekends when you miss our show on Wednesdays. But we're here every Wednesday evening, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So catch us live and join us live. Send us DMs on Instagram. We're here for it.
We are.
Tully, what is up, girl?
I am doing great. Hello, everyone in the beautiful internet. We are here. My name is Tully. I'm so happy to be here with 3 of the 4 members of my Girl Talk. We're gonna make Robbie 3 times proud. We're gonna plow through. We're gonna put on our half female, half male mind and try to figure out this interesting mix that the world is in. Sheba, how are you today?
I'm great, Telly Tell. My name is Toshiba. They call me Sheba. I'm the final female member, and unfortunately, our male conscience and my partner in crime could not make it tonight, but we're all going to hold down the fort, like Telly said, because there is a lot, and there is a lot that we're going to cover, starting with this first story that has been unfolding over the last week. So first of all, we're going to say congratulations to Sean P. Diddy Combs, otherwise known as Puffy, otherwise known as Diddy, on the birth of his most recent child, Sean. Is it Love Sean Combs or Sean Love?
I think it's Love. Yeah, I think you got it right.
Yes. So this is his 7th, 6th biological, but 7 in total, because if you know about Diddy, he had adopted Kim Porter's first child, who is also the child of Albie Shore. However, the announcement of this birth caused a lot of uproar on the internet. And so I'm going to call this section the Unbothered Chronicles. So let's start with the announcement of it. So here we go. This is the announcement. I turned it so hopefully everyone can see it so that you can view it on your end. So let me read it on my end. He says, I'm so blessed to welcome my baby girl, Love Sean Combs, to the world. Mama Combs, Quincy, Justin, Christian, Chance, Delilah, Jesse, and myself all love you so much. God is the greatest. Now, the reason this was such a surprise was that the mother of the child was not known to be the woman he's been linked with recently, which is Young Miami, aka Carisha of the City Girls. This is the woman that is his new child's mother. Now, we're going to see what the response of the woman he's been linked with, who says that they go together. You know, she says, we go together. And so she had this to say: biatches be like, I can never. I can, biatch, and that's the difference. Diddy won't even look half of y'all itches way. Majority of y'all praying upon a falling star. Biatch, please. And I'm not mad, I'm trending next. Now, here's the question I have for you. Are city girls not supposed to be unbothered? Because she sounds really bothered.
She sounds extremely bothered.
Can I?
Wow. She sounds pretty pissed.
Bothered.
She sounds really upset.
She is. Please continue, because even up to today,
oh yeah,
she's been going off on an influencer who's been making fun of her, and she's in a full-on fight with this young girl. And I was like,
Carisha, please. Come on now.
Because you're a city girl, right? Isn't the whole point of a city girl is I don't give an F, I'm not bothered. Now she coming on saying she's single. Girl, you've always been single.
She was always single.
she was single all the time.
Everyone else knew except her.
I mean, Diddy told her she was single when he showed up on his podcast
And
and
she
said
we
that,
go
that
together.
they are dating. He said that they are.
And no, and then she responded, we go together.
And he said we're having a good time.
Thank you. And then he said, we go together. And she said, yeah, real bad. If you got to tell a man on your show, hosted on his platform, that you go together, there's a problem. If you got to show up to an award show with a laminated sign, again, thank you, Telly, for this week reminding me it was laminated sign that says go Poppy, and you're all the way in the bag, that should indicate we go together. When said man thanks his dead ex and his married ex, and then includes you in everybody else, you should know you don't go together. So if I was Carisha, I would enjoy just being with a millionaire, enjoy what comes with a millionaire. Now she's fighting with this other girlfriend, I think it's Gina Nguyen or whatever, who's also like, she doesn't seem bothered because she hasn't said anything about the baby.
Right.
Exactly.
The thing here is,
it's confusing.
What I find very interesting is when you look at Diddy's history with women and relationships, I really just shake my head at anyone like Princess Carisha, who literally thinks that it's like, girl, like, and this is a no, you know what, I will say it, Carisha, you're a beautiful young woman. If you could change that mindset and just change, you know, you could get rid of this city girl, whatever persona that's supposed to be.
Girl.
That would be great. But the problem with her is that, sis, look at the women that he has surrounded himself with through time.
Just saying.
When you see, you know, you start with Kim Porter and you go past J-Lo, past Cassie, and then it's like, girl, really?
She doesn't see herself as that. She said that she's the #1 girl. She said she's no side B.
I know why he had a child with this woman, because she's not Carisha.
She's not a city girl.
She's a cybersecurity specialist. She's got brains and beauty. Let's go back. Let me just scroll back so we can see.
Everyone that Diddy has dated is well spoken. That's the first thing.
Oh, poor Carisha.
Can we look at this woman?
This woman
She's stunning.
has poise.
She's stunning.
Exceptional.
So I did some digging because I don't know much about the city girl. I don't know what's out there. So I decided to dig, and when I saw who she gave her womb to, if you have not looked up Young Miami's second child's father, please do. I was shocked and dismayed. Shock.
Oh yeah.
So if she thinks she's going to give up her womb,
Yes.
that man,
Yes.
and then also be in the presence of Diddy on a serious level,
Yes.
she's mistaken. Your choices have already disclosed. Ladies, we have to remember, our womb is the most precious thing we have. The highest honor we can give a man is a child. And so therefore, she not only once but twice gave the most precious honor you can give a man to two men who, let's just say, they're not in Diddy's league.
Oh dear no. No,
Diddy is a
absolutely
mogul.
not. Absolutely not.
So there's a reason, whether we like it or not, but we can call it, listen, people went on the internet trying to say, oh, he's not pro-black because he now has a child with a non-black woman. He's got 6 kids before this child. All of those kids were with black women. Let's be clear, this woman, his baby's so black. So stop with the nonsense.
With our people. Oh,
I really feel, and you know what makes me angry? The same people that are saying this is the same people that would drop to date outside of their race if they could.
Absolutely.
And they're also commenting on this woman's age because she's only 28. Well, Carisha's also only 28.
So, right.
So it's okay. She's 28 and black.
Right.
But not that she's 28 and Asian and actually smart. Because I'm sure if I sat in a room with this woman, I would learn something. When Carisha,
absolutely. I would learn something.
I feel like I need a translator to translate to me what this woman is saying. Like when Carisha speaks, I'm like, I look at Robin like, can you give me the American translation? Because I have no idea what this jumble of words are.
Right, because, you know, you grew up, you know, you were born and grew up in Jamaica, and then you lived in Canada for more than half your life. So why would you understand what she's saying? Like, Canadians don't speak like that.
There are most Americans that don't understand what Carisha says half the time.
I
only Carisha knows what she says, and she's the only one that understands.
But according to her, Diddy wouldn't look half a bitch's way, so we should just be better. So, girl, we wish the baby the best.
Wish the baby the best.
It's gonna be, I'm sure she's a beautiful baby, and she's gonna be super smart because her mama clearly is smart. Again, she's a cybersecurity specialist, not a city girl.
Right.
Know the difference,
we
lady.
do know that Diddy loves his kids, and he really puts them out there to show how he's very proud papa. So this kid is in for a great life.
Oh yeah, this kid's gonna be fine.
Wishing them the best.
Hopefully, not for Carisha. We don't know. I'm sure there'll be more for her to say next week because she won't stop. She just keeps on.
Oh yes. Before we move on, I remember why she's mad. You know why she's mad? Let's recall, ladies. Remember on the show she was trying to give Diddy her room?
Yeah.
She said,
"Oh, for twins."
She wanted twins. That's right.
And while this was happening, Diddy already had this woman pregnant.
So pregnant.
And Diddy, if we recall, on the interview, Diddy was refusing the offer of her womb to have twins. So yeah, girl, you're very bothered, and you're the opposite of a city girl. But to you, boo, Diddy wouldn't look my way, so who am I?
And you know what? I don't even know what the other city girl name is. You know how there's two of them.
Oh, JT.
Yeah. Now she's with little Uzi Vert. And every day Uzi Vert is claiming her online. They're out here together, holding hands together.
A Rolls Royce SUV. Like, they're having a
like they're out here being in a relationship. And I think Carisha's like, oh well, I want that too. And it's like, sis,
yeah, she wants that, but Diddy doesn't want that for her. Because he got a whole woman pregnant while she was right there. Carisha.
Please.
Police.
No, moving on.
Oh dear.
Now, this is another woman who brought us much joy or laughter or pity or whatever. There was a lot of emotions for this next woman. If you recall the helmet of salvation.
Yes. The helmet of salvation, that bonnet.
Yes. So news broke this week that Derek Jackson, the relationship guru, I don't know what guru he was, but sure, is divorcing his wife. Before I read his statement, I'm going to play a video that she recently put out to let the rest of, she had to give the rest of us a message. So we're going to go to the message she wanted us to hear, and then we're going to go ahead and read his statement in a segment called Watch Your Tongue. That's what I'm calling this segment, and let's go.
Every person speaking against the names Danae Jackson and Derek Jackson in mockery, accusations, slanders, and lies, may the mercies of God be withdrawn from you. May your husbands and wives become widows. Let your children become fatherless. Let your seed become vagabonds on the earth. Let the words of your mouth and your words of your hands be returned back to you. Let it go down your throat and choke you slowly until your days become few on the earth. The word of God says, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. You've been warned. And if you want to know where that is at in the Bible, go to Psalm 109. Go to Psalm 35, go to Psalm 140, go to Psalm 141, and keep our names out of your mouth in the name of Jesus. Have a blessed day.
I mean, at least she told us to have a blessed day.
Right? She ended it on a positive note. It's always good to have positivity, everyone. That's the one thing you take away from that ridiculous rant.
That was like the only Christian part of what she said.
Right? What part of her was anointed? The bonnet that she wore?
Listen. So this was last month. And thank you to Coffee and Candles is saying, who is she praying to? God does not like ugly.
Amen.
That is facts, Coffee.
Hallelujah.
Now, let me just also say this was last month. This statement you see behind us was 4 days ago. So this was Shade Room breaking the news after Tasha K, if you know Tasha K is famous for being sued by Cardi B and ran out the country because she owed her millions of dollars. She messy boots, and she's still gonna be messy. But either way, Tasha K got pictures of this gentleman who claims to be a relationship guru and who gives modern women a bunch of crockpot advice about how we're the prize, and if any man loves us, he's basically gonna rub our feet and kiss us and bow down to us. And all of the foolishness that he tells women that we buy into, especially the fact that we're the prize, which we're not because the numbers just don't make us the prize. But I will, talk about that another time. But this is that man cheating on his wife. So they caught him in Miami, and he decided to put out the following statement. Over the past several months, my family and I have gone through many changes. Some of you have speculated while others of you have reached out to offer support as we privately establish this new normal for ourselves and our beautiful children. Earlier this year, after much prayer, counseling, and deep consideration, we decided to go our separate ways and filed for divorce. Making the decision to file was one of the hardest decisions of my life, but I found peace knowing that our mission of raising healthy children, starting with healthy and whole parents, is still being accomplished. From falling in love as teenagers to becoming spouses and now co-parents, I'm grateful for the years we've spent together and wouldn't trade them for anything. I was blessed to have such an amazing person in my life and will forever be thankful for all she's meant to our family. We ask that if you pray, to please pray for us as we navigate this grieving process. If not, please respect our privacy. Before you answer, ladies, I have a question. He said healthy and whole parents. Did the video I just played indicate that she's of good mental health and is whole?
Absolutely not. No, she is far from it. Far from it. But I must say, between the two, obviously we see who the winner is in terms of PR. Obviously, Jackson has won the award for that. Oh dear! Wow, she's a toxic woman.
And I would like to highlight earlier this year, not last week.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier this year, he said. So that even more so shows us that Danae, something is not okay up here, because girl is out here trying to send out like witchcraft mixed with the biblical scriptures.
She's using the word.
4 days before he announces publicly that, yeah, you know what, earlier this year we decided to separate. Right. So it's like, girl, what
was all of that?
So what was that?
clearly found out with the rest of us because she was recently releasing a book talking about advice for married couples to go through the storm together. Some foolishness couples book she was going to put out about advice to weather the storm. Girl. And in the beginning, it was easy to see why people were being sympathetic. Because there were some people, not everybody, because again, it was very awkward. He was holding her hand. She had her helmet of salvation.
She
All
looked
of that.
awkward. Yeah, and she looked awkward.
She looked awkward.
Yeah.
And people were saying, girl, blink a few times if you need us to rescue you. But then she went in a completely opposite direction and cussed everybody out because the rest of us were heathens and she was a holy woman. And if we had carried ourselves better than a man would, she went and again, she just told us that our children should be orphaned in the word and choke it. Girl, we don't feel bad for you at all.
No, we don't.
No, and I really think it's a shame that she, first of all, said anything about, like, your children shall be vagabonds upon the earth. I'm like, why would you wish that upon the earth? God would never allow that. He would never accept this. You think that's a prayer. It sounds more like a spell.
It's a spell.
And this idea of bringing up Psalms this and Psalms that, I'm like, girl, there's nowhere in the Bible that says pray down on people and tell them that their offspring is going to have few days on the earth and all this stuff. There is no part. So I don't know what you're doing. If you want to share scripture, then read the scriptures and turn off your Instagram live or your Instagram, whatever you're doing.
You know what? That's what bothers me also. The fact that her and her ex, they both put this out for everyone to judge. So they can't really say anything because they put it out there. So the public opinion is going to be a thing, whether they like it or not. But her trying to pull this whole look at me, like she's still trying to be a celebrity about it. And so holy. I'm holier than every other person on the planet. It's like we were talking on our call. It's like Usher's ex-wife. It's like all these women that's coming out, Erica Bana, just coming out and just talking a lot for no reason. Whatever happened to just respect my privacy at this time? And then you just go away and figure out
especially
your divorce privately.
Yeah,
you don't need to know.
Especially when people were on your side originally.
People are on your side. People are rooting for this woman. And she just took every female blaming dress code. Ma'am, if you all carried yourselves better, my husband wouldn't cheat on me. What?
So we wish them nothing. I do wish the children healthy and whole parents.
Yes.
And I pray that the parents can become healthy and whole for the children's sake, but she is neither healthy nor whole. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. God bless.
So it is said, so it is done.
That is
Sondo.
Now, people, keep your business off the internet. Actually, don't keep your business because we need your business for the show. Somewhere. Actually, I'm going to take that back because we need your business. But this sometimes, okay, I'm just going to put this up. I'm going to give you guys a chance to consume it for a second.
You know what? It's kind of blurry.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read it.
Yes.
Oh,
this
right.
Foolishness. Okay. So this is if you go on Instagram, it's called 6 brown chicks. And basically people write in and ask for advice.
Yeah.
So this is a woman asking for advice. She says, my coworker / lover gives off executive vibes. He is the one, bold, the one, capitalized, the one. He says he's not ready for a bonus family and that he wishes I didn't have 3 toddlers already. I've asked several family members to take my kids. In brackets, she writes, their dads are in jail, but no one will. What to do? Help.
Can I just say I really hope that this is not
this
true.
Can't
like
be
I first of all, I know this has 3 toddlers
and her fathers are all
dads.
Dads.
Plural.
And all of them are in prison.
And jail.
All of them.
All in jail.
And she tried to shift her kids off to family
the
members.
executive guy, or
So
yeah,
Because she wants to be the executive man.
Yes.
Wow.
So she wants the high value man after giving her womb to jailbirds. Yep. And then she wants to forget about the kids that
Right.
she had with
And just toss them
other people
aside.
to make them responsible so she can go be an executive wife.
He wants to be an executive wifey.
So
can I just say that I hope that the man writes in so we can give him advice, because he's the one that needs advice. Executive guy, run. Run.
Don't look
Run.
back.
But
Red
here's
flag.
the thing.
Red flag.
Do you see how she started it? My coworker / lover. She didn't say boyfriend.
No.
She didn't say fiance.
No,
She didn't
lover.
say man.
Lover.
She called it lover.
Yep.
So he's as Rob would say, he's getting them bums.
Yo,
Yeah, he's hanging out with her in
Yep.
the photocopy room, if you know
That's
what I
it.
mean.
that's all she is. And she's taking it to a whole nother level.
Where
By
you wear
literally wanting to give up her kids
Toddlers.
so that she can be with this. She wants to be an executive wifey. And all of their fathers are in jail.
I'm gonna look up.
And
this
she's
definition.
writing this in. And what does she expect people to say?
I know. What kind of advice were you looking for at this point?
Yeah, and
sis?
I'm curious.
Like, what did you want
to what
people
the
to
people are
say?
saying.
Did you want people to say, yeah, girl, just toss those kids to the closest orphanage you can find and to get you yourself that
Yes.
executive man? Is that,
How?
what was she hoping for?
So I just looked up the definition of a toddler because I have not been a mom of a toddler in many years. So a toddler is approximately 12 to 36 months, which means 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
Right.
So you have different dads
Right.
for children
Right.
that are 1,
2, and 3.
And I believe they overlapped.
Oh, you know they did, girl.
They had to have overlapped.
They
Oh, she definitely has, what do they call them? Irish twins.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's an overlap of.
I'm still hung up on what kind of advice she wants to get from people. This can't be true. I hope it's
And
not true.
think about this. Let's put on the hat of that executive man right now.
Oh.
You're at work and then she comes up to you and says, "Don't worry about it, boo. I got rid of my toddlers. I sent them over to my sister's house, so I'm all yours." You think that man's gonna be like, "Oh, you're the real deal? You gave your kids away?"
I'm assuming he doesn't know that the 3 kids belong to jailbirds.
I don't
if
know
he
it,
did,
but
he would stop talking to her in general.
But the thing is, as soon as a man finds out, as soon as a man finds out,
You just dash your
you
kids.
threw your kids to the curb, he is not gonna want you.
She sacrificed her kids to the lions, basically.
He's gonna be like, "Excuse me, I'm
Because
sorry.
She wants
You
to be an
shipped your
executive
kids
wife.
off?"
And she thinks it's okay. She went through all those hours of labor and taking care of these children, and now she's just like, "Oh, off you go." And so she can be with this man? Lady.
Here's the thing. This is the advice I'm going to give ladies. We are judged by the decisions we make. Okay? We are very judged by the decisions we make.
Girl.
The only person that anyone can ever 100% truly know I have relations with is my daughter's father.
Right.
Tyler. That is the only man that can ever be proven that I had relations with.
Right.
It's him. Not my husband, my ex-husband, not Rob, he's the only man. So when you go through 1, 2, 3, and then more and more and more, it is just, again, a man's gonna look at you and say, "Really? Those are the men you gave your womb away to? Girl, all your daddies are in jail? All your baby daddies?
Within
All of them are in jail.
within that 2 to 3 or 1 to 3 year gap,
Yo, she was on a roll.
We're done.
Wow.
and then you're so quick to dash them away.
That's horrific.
I
No,
have some
no.
advice. She needs to get her tubes tied and get
Quick.
herself with the slip.
Quick o'clock.
The
She's
slip.
her tubes tied ASAP, like right now.
And she needs to do some like inner work or something, because sis, this is
goodness.
not
It's not the way.
this is not it.
Girl.
we're done with her. So before we get into our next segment, please, Carcia, talk to the people there.
Hey. Thank you for joining us on Not Your Typical Girl Talk, where we try to make sense of the foolishness on these deep, dark internets. We replay our show every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Radio Regent, syndicated through iHeartRadio. Thank you, Radio Regent, for allowing us the platform to share the foolishness with all of our friends out there. So catch us Saturdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Radio Regent. Also join us here every Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We love when you join us live. It really adds to the show. So comment, let us know what you think. We want to hear from you. Let's move on with the rest of the show.
So this is another load of foolishness that someone wrote into the same Six Brown Chicks Instagram page. And if you thought the first one that we just talked about was bad, this one is actually utter foolishness. God. We're going to, they get actually, again, thank you people for the content. Without you, we appreciate all of you who write in to let virtual strangers know about the poor decisions that you make in life. And so let's go to this next woman. And she says, this is her question. I flirted for a year. Married coworker agreed to spend a weekend with me. He came by with his 5-month-old. He slipped out to get condoms. He didn't come back until Sunday night to pick up his baby. I saw on Facebook that he was with wifey while I babysat for free. Do I tell her?
Can I give a short answer first?
Go for it.
No, don't tell her. Because you'll only be promoting the fact that you're an idiot.
That is exactly what I would have said.
I'm not saying
because
shite.
what are you telling her? There's nothing to tell her.
Nothing to tell.
Nothing happened.
As far as that woman knows, oh, okay, he wanted you to babysit our kid. Nothing happened between the two of them. She was babysitting for the whole weekend. So there's nothing to tell, ma'am. She's the fool that sat in this cabin with a 5-month-old for the whole weekend.
And let's not forget how it's flirted. I flirted for a year.
Flirted. ...
with a married coworker. Period. So you knew he was married. You still put out your feelers, because I'm sure this is what she was doing at the desk. Oh, hi. All that stuff, right? So you're out there flirting with a married man, right? Number one on you. And then he decided to say he needed a babysitter. So he came by, gave you some sweet nothings. You were open and willing. And also, when the man showed up with the 5-month-old, why did you think anything was going to go down in the first place? You were going to have relations with the woman's picnic in where? Where was the picnic going to be?
And a 5-month-old? Like,
listen, guys, that woman did not care if it was a 5-month-old or his grandma. She was ready for it.
But this is what desperation has come to.
Well, yeah, that's it. She's desperate. She could care less who was with him that night. She was really thinking they were going to
I didn't want to have relations with my own 5-month-old in the house. It made me feel, it still makes me feel uncomfortable to this day when the children are in the house and I'm having any kind of relation. So somebody else 5-month-old pick me.
And then here's the thing too, because we've all worked in offices before. When a guy is pregnant, meaning his wife is going to have a baby, he lets people know. Most people in the office know, because he had to have taken paternity leave, right? So that means he was even away from the office for about a month and a week, whatever, a few weeks he was away from the office. So sis, you well and know that this man is in a full-on marriage, growing a family, and you were still flirting.
Yes, she was. And she had no intention to stop.
Like, let's
That
This
weekend was
decision making.
planned.
What happened? We have no spirit of discernment anymore.
No, but she's desperate.
Here's
The 5-month-old was nothing to her. She was hoping that they were going to have this gorgeous, sexy, steamy, romantic evening
With the
with
5-month
the 5-month
growing up and pooping up.
Yes, she didn't care. All she could see was he's gonna be mad. He's gonna be mad. All that was hers was that 5-month-old for the next 2-3 days because she babysat for free, and now she's asked the audacity to ask the public, should I tell him?
no,
Should I tell the wife?
no.
Should I tell the wife?
You
No.
didn't want to talk to the wife when you were flirting.
Why didn't you talk to the wife in the first place, ma'am?
When you wanted to be sitting up, let me not go there. But when you wanted to be all up on her husband, you had nothing to tell her. But now you babysat. You got bamboozled. He tricked you. He didn't want
Listen,
Tricked you and he tricked
right?
you good.
And if I was the wife
Serves you right.
and she came to me with this story,
Oh, I'd laugh.
2 box.
I'd laugh my head off.
Listen, you've never seen 2 box so fast. I would give her 2 quick box in the face. And I'd be like, yeah, move from me. And I'd go back to my husband and my 5-month child, and we would go on vacation.
Girl, watch that child too, because God knows that poor thing was stuck with that dirty ass woman for so long.
Oh Lord, the world, and we move on. Girl, we ain't got no advice for you. Be better. Just be.
What's wrong with our women, man? Come on.
Speaking of women, this story bothers me in so many different ways, and it's gonna probably bother a lot of you as well on the radio and watching live, because we've covered a lot of stories, but this one, as we dug a little bit deeper, we realized, oh, hell to the no, no, no. So these days, and I've said it on the show many times, when you use the word identify, you can be anyone you want to be in this world. But this person has taken it to the extreme. Okay, I'm just going to read what this says, and then I'm going to read you the article I tracked down about this person. So the first story that came out says, woman who is 100% physically healthy wants to live as a disabled person, identify as trans-abled. So again, this woman can walk, but she has decided that she's going to go around as if she has a physical disability. She's got braces on her knees, etc. But this is where the story gets a little more juicy. I'm going to read you an article, and it says, non-disabled transgender woman who identifies as disabled divides the internet. So the woman that they had classified as a woman is actually transgender and also wants to be seen as trans-abled. Please follow me along, everybody, because this story gets wild. A non-disabled transgender woman is identifying as trans-abled or disabled, even though there's nothing wrong with her at all. Geron Victoria Alme, 53, told Good Morning Norway during a recent interview she always wished she had been born a woman who was paralyzed from the waist down. Alme recalled the day she wanted to be transabled when she was in elementary school. Another student turned up one day with a splint and put it on her legs and offered crutches. She says, my heart pounded, my pulse increased, and I was activated in my body. I was incredibly focused on him and what this was all about. As I understood it in retrospect, it was a recognition of the situation and that it was I who should have been there. 5 years ago, Alme decided to get a wheelchair despite not needing one, shocking her wife, Agnes. I didn't know what it would do, but I had a very aha experience when I got to sit in that chair. When my legs are allowed to rest completely, it stops the triggering of and apparently there's a word for what she has, body integrity identity disorder. So I get a lot of rest and can use my resources for other things. Now she uses a wheelchair to get around unless she decides she has to walk for practical reasons, such as to get on and off planes. I hope that no one takes it bad that I use the wheelchair as an aid because it helps me.
What? Okay, can I first of all just say something? To anyone that's listening to this, who is disabled, I am so sorry that we are cutting you off right now.
Sorry.
Because this is actually ticking me off. Like,
it's disgusting.
First of all, before we get into the foolishness of this transabled woman, whatever, I want to say that disabled people don't have a choice as to should I use my legs today or should I not.
Yeah, this is their reality. They can't decide anything.
They can't decide, well, today is a good skiing day, so I'm just going to put my crutches away. I'm just going to put my chair away.
That convenience.
Yeah. So first of all, that's actually very offensive.
That's horrific.
Like, I'm very offended by this one.
Like, do you remember when you were a kid and, you know, most kids are like, well, you know, I want to be a police officer, or I want to be a fire girl, I want to be a ballet dancer. This woman wanted to be paralyzed from the waist down.
Yes, she's almost
that was her dream as a child.
Right. And she's almost putting out a perception that being disabled means you can be lazy.
That's basically
it makes me angry because I see people going to work every day using their devices so they can get to work.
And it doesn't look easy. Imagine Toronto in a wheelchair in the snow and everything. When there's no, you know, like they're doing this. How is this? How are your other resources good?
Thank you.
So she puts it in her house and sits there and relaxes, and she thinks that that's the way. Like, come on.
That's not right. She should be arrested.
Actually, yes.
She should be arrested. That is not right. That is not fair. She's offending half the majority of the planet. Her, what's the thing she has? What kind of disorder?
Let me read it. So this is the definition of body integrity identity disorder, is also known as body integrity dysphoria. It's a rare disorder characterized by an intense and persistent desire to become physically disabled.
But I've never heard anyone wanting.
Does anyone else have
suffering from this? Like, what's the statistic on what? What's the statistic on this?
What is interesting though is this is seen as a disorder, but the other part of her life, which is being a transgendered woman, that is not a disorder. No. So how are we deciding what is a disorder and what is not? That's the first thing.
All I know is that my bags are packed. I'm just planning
and number two,
by the second.
You know,
I don't know what's going on.
This is only the beginning of foolishness we're going to see from people. Well, I mean, people are out here really wanting to be oppressed.
Why does everyone want to be oppressed?
Be a part of the marginalized community. That's all I can say.
Why do people envy this? There's nothing to be envied. Why do you want to be oppressed?
She needs to be in a mental institution.
Yes, she does.
This is not
with handcuffs.
It
needs to be on a public record. This woman's abusing the system, going on like she's paralyzed from the waist down.
I wonder, is she collecting?
Is she collecting disabled
benefits too?
Because if she is, a person that actually needs that money is being trapped. They can't get their money.
And also privilege as well. This woman is overtly privileged because she obviously has some money coming in. Because I used to work for a company where they made, home care, electrical wheelchairs. Yes. They're expensive.
They are.
And a lot of people wish they could get the latest wheelchair, the latest scooter, and they can't afford it. And this lady's just out here buying it for fun.
Yeah,
like, let's put her away.
Put her away.
Put her away. Part of the braces, she has the braces on her feet, acting as if she requires them to fall. She's got them sitting down. This is not okay.
No,
and the fact that, again, all we've got to do is say we identify, or I think, again, little kids are now using, oh no, the reason I misbehave is because of my mental health. This is the world we now live in. Everything is mental health. There's nothing. This woman is making a mockery of something that some people cannot avoid. People have been born that way. Some people got into car accidents. Some people have degenerative diseases that cause them to be confined to wheelchairs. So for her to say, oh, I use my wheelchair to allow me to tap into my other resources and only walk when I need to. Like it's on and off planes.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Again, done with her.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
So this last segment, it's going to give us a bit of a laugh. And I am always so blessed and happy for my good friend Kendra G. She's my good friend in my head. Because the people who call into Kendra G's show, the people
are hilarious.
Are hilarious.
Oh
but
my God.
This particular gentleman was displeased from the very moment Kendra asked him a question. And it's a common question we get asked, but he was not feeling Miss Kendra asking this question. So we're calling this segment Stop the Cap. And we go.
Hello?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Deshaun.
Deshaun from where?
Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit, how old are you, Deshaun?
29. What's the problem?
You didn't hear the question.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
You said where I'm from. I said Detroit. You said how old are you? I said 29.
No, yeah, I said how old are you?
I said 29.
That means how many years have you been on Earth?
I'm 29 years old, you fucking bozo.
29?
Yeah. Hey, I know, girl. I know you ain't trying to go there with the rings because you will have no makeup on. You're hideous. Like, don't play with me.
Hello?
Yeah.
We're just gonna leave that.
That man says he's 29.
Okay. And for those that can't see the video, like, let me just
describe.
This man looks like, he's a black man. He looks like he's around 75, 77 years old. Like, that's how he looks. This is not a young looking 75. This man actually looks like he's a 75-year-old black man.
Who just took his dentures out before the show.
Before talking. So no one can understand what he's saying. And he's going off.
And he said he's 29. And he's going off real hard about being 29. Like, really hard. And
look at, you know what? Yeah.
He must be doing drugs.
Everyone that's listening, go on our Instagram page. Just go and watch it and see for yourself. Because words can't describe what this man looks like. He's claiming that he's 29. And look at this man. What part of him is 29?
So we are the ages of 40 and 43.
Yeah.
Sally is 40, Garcia and I are 43.
Yes.
This man says he is 11 to 14 years younger than all of us.
Yes.
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 Like, I know that's saying, like, you know, saying tough face, tough life. But, sir, your life, no one's life is that tough.
Not even a tough 29-year-old face.
Like, even on a bad day.
No.
Sir.
No.
He's on fentanyl. This man is not. No. He's Mr. Meth. He's Captain Meth. This man's on severe drugs. And that's why his teeth are gone. Because they're just decayed. Like, they mesh up and gone.
Yeah.
This man is not 29. Why is he Captain? And he's mad that she doesn't believe him.
Effing bozo.
Listen, I remember when I first saw the clip, I was like, Sir, even 59, you're capping. But
Yes.
29, sir.
That man was near 59.
He is a grand.
He's
Like,
like
he's a
77 going on
stereotypical grandpa.
85.
He's the grandfather of adult children.
Older than my father.
Yes.
He died at 77.
And that's why I wanted to point out, like, this is not a, because again, there are lots of Black men, like our father included, Tully, who do not look like their age. People think that they're in their 50s. That people
This man,
say, oh, you're 56 years old. This man doesn't look like he's 56. He looks like he's 75
or older.
Or older.
Well, his all mash up. He can't talk good.
Listen, not to be undone, another gentleman decided that he was going to come on Beyonce Blue Ivy's internet and celebrate his birthday.
Oh dear.
That gentleman came, and said, you know what? He's 29. Guess what? I got something for y'all. Just gonna let you
stop, girl. Just stop. Like 22.
So this gentleman says, a very special day as I turn a year older than I was yesterday, 22. And just for the sake of it, for those of you who are unable to see my screen right now, I'm going to bring my phone just a little closer. Can you see that? Can you see?
Just stop, yo.
I'm going to get it as close
this is like an overtly middle-aged man wearing like a plaid shirt and jeans like any like grandpa would, and he's posing with like helium balloon numbers of 22.
But hold on, because little Trey, she's 21.
My daughter is 21.
And this grown man is saying that he's
because he's making fun of this crazy old man that looks like he's 75.
He was 22.
That's a good point, Telly. Just for me to show what my 21-year-old daughter is, just so we can compare.
Because if this man is 22, and Trey is 21.
So this is my, hold on, let me find a good picture first. So this is my 21-year-old.
A beautiful, gorgeous young lady.
So this is 21, right.
And
that man behind you is saying that he's 22.
And the thing is, too, I do want to say, as Black women, when a Black woman is 21 years old, she actually looks like she's about 14, especially if she's dressed, like a kid, wearing like a sweatshirt and jeans. So the idea that this man came on here, really, like, oh, thank you, Cass. Safe travels.
Oh, Cass is on her way back from Buffalo.
Oh, safe travels, girl.
We're so glad that we've kept you awake. Stay safe on those roads.
Laugh with us as we love this crazy man that claims to be 22.
Listen, I would never. I just want to say I would never. People when they hear my real age, they don't believe me. They're like, that's a lie. Like, but I would never walk around and say
that I'm 22. No, I'm not gonna push it like that.
No.
I love the look on people's face when I say 43. Like,
they jump out of their pants.
They don't believe it.
When I'm at the gym, when I'm at the grocery store, wherever I am, if I'm in a conversation, and I start saying I have a 21-year-old, people look around and be like, did you have her when you were 8? Like, what are you talking about? I don't understand. And I'm proud to say 43. So please, for the love of God, like, stop relying on Blue Ivy's internet.
22. And that other mashup man was 29. What's going? Come on now.
It's like, sir, you are calling into this show to get a date. The reason why you can't get a date is because you're out here lying about.
But he has no teeth.
Well, I'm hoping he puts teeth in when he goes out to.
Girl, he doesn't have time for that. He's on meth. He isn't.
That's just so.
Let's all go to Detroit and find this man.
We have to. We're just gonna go back to him
because the way how he cuts down the woman, I'm like, cut clutch my pearl. I should wear pearls now just to clutch them. This man, he went off on her.
He was big mad. Let's just for entertainment's sake, let's go back to this.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Deshaun,
Deshaun from where?
Detroit, Michigan,
Detroit. How old are you, Deshaun?
29. What's the problem?
You didn't hear the question.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
You said where I'm from. I said Detroit. You said how old are you? I said 29.
No, you asked her how old are you?
I said 29.
That means how many years have you been on Earth?
I'm 29 years old, you fucking bozo. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, I know, girl. I know you ain't trying to go there with the rings because you will have no makeup on. You're hideous. Like, don't play with me.
He identifies as a 29-year-old.
There we go. Let's tie it all together. There we
He
go.
Identifies as a 29-year-old.
That's what we do on this program. We just put things together.
Making sense of the
Foolishness
foolishness
on the internet. That's what we do around here. Y'all need to pay attention. This man identifies.
Listen, I'm going to identify as a 3-year-old. I'm going to come here in a cute little onesie next week.
I'm going to identify as a rich person.
I'm seriously trying to, I'm going to just start identifying as a white woman and go to the bank and they're going to
And ask for a loan.
Ask for a loan.
great credit. The officers will, if I'm speeding, they'll actually give me an escort home to make sure I got
Right.
it safe, bring in my groceries. And it's going to be great. Listen, people, listen, as long as you use the word identify,
Identify.
anything you want.
That's it.
So
There you go.
thank you, Carcia, for putting it all together. This 72,
I'm happy that we
79-year-old
figured this
man
out.
has determined that he wants to identify as a 29-year-old because he feels like 29-year-old men out here just get all kinds of play. He wants to get a date. He's like, they're not going to like the old 77-year-old. So I'm going to identify, and he's going to live as such. So if a woman can be transgender, trans-able, then
Why can't this man?
29.
This man should have the right to be
Trans
age. Don't give them any more ideas because this world's already mashed up. That man needs to find his teeth. Once he finds his teeth, then he can figure out his age. When he goes around telling women that he's 29 and the women run from him because they clearly see that it's their great granddad risen from the dead, he looks like a zombie. Like, the rigor mortis is setting in. That's why he has no teeth.
Along with the long
It's the rigor
aging.
mortis.
Along with the
No need to
aging
run.
to his face, he
Has
doesn't
no
look okay. Like, men
So
don't come on and call people effing bozos.
No, but he identifies. He thinks that she identifies as an effing bozo. So he's just.
So to wrap up tonight's show, we dealt with a woman who is supposed to be unbothered, but is bothered by her maybe boyfriend having a baby with another woman. There's that. And she's city girl. We've got a woman who found out, like the rest of us, she was separated and getting a divorce after telling us that we were going to be widowed and our children were going to be orphans and that our words should go down and choke us. While her husband was in Miami with another woman slinging that. We have a woman who's trying to give away her 3 kids because she found an executive man and all of her kids were toddlers and all the daddies were in jail. We had another woman who decided to flirt with her married co-worker for a year, and when she thought she was going to give him some buns, he dropped up his 5-month-old and he had a free babysitter for a weekend. We have a woman who is transgender, trans-abled, and has body identity disorder, something, because she's always wanted to be whatever. I don't know. I'm confused. And now we've got him.
We've got him. This
We've
man that
given
identifies.
you a great show. We've entertained you. We know that Robbie 3 times was on to give his male perspective, but I hope you've enjoyed your time with us. And before we go, Telly is going to talk to the people down.
Yes, we want to thank you all so much for joining us on another amazing award-winning episode of Not Your Typical Girl Talk. We are all over Blue Ivy and Beyonce's internet. Just find us on all social media platforms under the name Not Your Typical Girl Talk. And don't forget, while you're here, just go ahead and follow us on here. We update every day, and feel free to go into our DMs, give us some ideas, some tips. We love to hear from all of you. We want to thank Radio Regents for giving us this platform to try to make sense of the foolishness. As you can see, we did putting the two together, identifying that poor man has no teeth. But hopefully he finds his teeth and we find out how old this man really is. In the meantime, though, make sure to listen to our award-winning content on Radio Regents, Sticking It Through, iHeartRadio. We got Persia. I'm Telly. We got Sheba. And in spirit, we got Robbie. 1, 2, 3.